Hi, Kitty Pies. It is Lanikia coming to you with Basketball Wives Season 8, Episode 10. Ooh, the foolishness in this episode. I'm biased, so we're going to get into it. I know some of you might not agree, but we're about to get into it. So we start off where we left off last week with their whole at the skating party. And so Malaysia and Jackie are getting into it again, and they're just going at it. They finally get Jackie out of the building. They get Malaysia separated. And Malaysia's pretty much just blaming Jackie. She said, you know, you lie. You've been spreading this rumor. You've been going around. And Jackie is just like, no, I have not. And then Jackie's friend Dion get like all these people get into it or whatever. So then we see that Jackie goes back inside because she says, I brought my skates and I'm gonna skate. So remember last week she did go with OG and I think they got their skates customized or something like that. So they went. So she's like, I'm going to go in and get my skates and skate. Like, I'm not letting this ruin my fun or whatever. And so she goes in and they get into it again. Like, Malaysia is trying to go at her again. So they get into it. And then while they're getting into it, of course, Dion and Jackie's people, they start, going at it. And then Jackie looks and she sees Phoebe and she tells Phoebe, I heard you had a lot to say too. And Phoebe is like, yeah, you said something. I find it funny that in an environment where it's one-on-one with Phoebe, she backpedals and she has nothing to say. But when you get an environment when they're fighting and doing all this, you have things to say. And if you look at it, because I did see it twice, like you're acting like you're wanting to run up on Jackie, but you only had one security guard holding you. And it didn't look like you were trying to fight him that hard to go after Jackie. But maybe that's the bias in me. Y'all tell me what y'all see and what you thought. But so all the girls are just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? So anyways, they get Jackie outside again. And so Evelyn comes outside, y'all, and she starts talking to Jackie. And she's like, well, Malaysia feels like you took it to the group. And I'm like, you made her feel like that because that is the conversation that's how y'all brought it to her, that it's your friend going around telling this information. That's how y'all brought it to her. So now, and Kristen too is like, oh my gosh, Jackie is ruining my party with this. She brought this up. No, y'all brought this up to Malaysia at this party. This party would not have been ruined had you told, because I'm sure between the time that you found out about this and the time that the party, you had a few days to try to tell Jackie tell Malaysia what was going on. You chose to bring it up at the party. And I find it interesting that Jackie didn't come in like, what was Jackie? Like, what was she from the 90s? And she had a duffel bag and all that. What are you? Was she going to the bathroom to change? What was she going to be? And then, because Jackie loves a good dress up. She didn't come like that. And Malaysia brought all her cousins and everything. And I didn't mention this last week, but when her cousins were coming in, Evelyn was like, who are these hoes? And Kristen was like, that's Malaysia's cousins. And so, like, even that, you're talking about people that you don't even know. And that's one of the reasons why I don't like Evelyn. Because, like, she just sits on her perch and she looks down and just talks about everyone. But I digress. So, anyways, that was my whole thing. It's like, what? Y'all are coming at Jackie. Like, they were coming at Jackie. And Jackie even told Evelyn, it's not your fault. You had nothing to do with it. And I'm like, you think that's your friend, Jackie. Evelyn does not like you. Evelyn really had never forgave Jackie for talking about her daughter. Even though Evelyn was all in that family business of Jackie's. She never forgave Jackie for calling her daughter build a something. But anyways, so I'm like, and I've been saying this the whole time. Evelyn she'll kiki with Jackie, but she'll be throwing shade in the confessionals as well. So I don't know why Jackie thought that was her friend. And then Kristen is doing the exact same thing. Like, if you felt that way, you should have told Jackie, I think you should stop telling people that you heard this and go straight to Malaysia. You and Malaysia are cousins. Or you married into the family, so y'all cousins. But you're supposed to be really close. You can't tell me that y'all didn't have a conversation about this. You cannot tell me that. Anyways, I digress. So then Shay shows up and she looking like Pepper. She real cute and everything. And they said, you missed it. And she was like, no, I didn't miss it. I came right on time. Like, let all this stuff happen and then y'all just fill me in on the drama. And then, even then, Jackie was like, "You look cute" or whatever, because it wasn't really bothering Jackie, because she felt like Malaysia just doesn't understand what I'm telling her or whatever. So, but I didn't like the fact that Malaysia and Jennifer, like, now y'all cool, now y'all can talk and all that, and she's sitting here. I believe Malaysian. Who is that? Malaysia and Jennifer. I believe Jennifer. I'm like, how are you so quick to throw your friend away and believe Jennifer like that? Like, how is that? How are you so quick to do that? And so then we see OG comes up, and Jackie's pretty much like, the party over. Are they kicking me out? Because Kristen's like, I don't want her at my party or whatever. Like, I'm sorry. You cannot tell me that they did not have this planned. You cannot tell me this was not planned, that you had not planned. And I think Jackie knew it too. And that's why she came the way she came. Because I don't know. I just like, I don't know. I'm over that whole thing. So then we see OG goes in, and says Evelyn made a comment about her toes. And then Evelyn says, "Oh, I did, she did." And she was like, in her confessional, she was like, "You coming in, you're all manly." Like, she was making man mannerisms and everything, talking about OG. But then this little comment about your toes rubs you raw or something, because she called her OG toe. Oto, something, Gito, something silly, something childish and silly and everything. And I don't even know how that resolved, y'all. I really don't know, because they gave me too much in the first few minutes of this. I'm trying to keep up and write it all down. I'm like, this is too much information to have to take in. But anyways, I didn't like the fact that Evelyn was like, she's so manly and all that. Like, so that means she, like, even if she was manly, which I think OG is really pretty, because she's built to me like Serena Williams, and you always hear that comment about Serena Williams. Anytime a woman has muscles, why does she always have to be considered manly? OG wears lashes, she wears the weaves, she wears dresses and skirts, like, she wears heels. So why does she have to be considered manly? Because she has muscles. And why? Because she has muscle, as a woman with muscles, that she can't have feelings. I didn't like that comment that she made. It was a lot ticking me off about this episode, y'all. That's why I was like, oh. So anyways, so then we go and okay, so then the party, they continue to skate or whatever. So then we see that Kristen and Thomas are talking. That's her husband. And he tells her, so she tells him about what went on at the party, and she said Jackie just came in mad, and I'm like, no, she did not. Unless y'all are editing this the way we don't see it, we saw Jackie come in the life of the party. She came in happy, speaking, and all that kind of stuff. And Malaysia came at her upset because y'all had gassed her up. I don't like, even to your husband, you gonna lie? So unless they are editing this where we can't see it, like, I'm like, so you gonna lie to your husband? And he said, well, how did it all start? And she was like, because Jackie spread this rumor. No, it started at your party with you opening your mouth and saying something. That had nothing to do with Jackie. Your party could have been a success had you kept your mouth shut. And any other time, that's what I don't understand. Any other time they would have went to a girl and they would have said, hey, Malaysia's here. Jackie, go and tell Malaysia what you've been hearing. They would have done that. But they didn't do that. It was like they purposely ganged up on Jackie. And Malaysia even says that later on when they're doing the courtroom. She's like, we'll just get you out of the group. And I feel like that's what they're trying to do. I don't know how the rest of the season's going to go, but it feels like that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get them out of the group. And let me tell y'all something. Y'all have lost Tammy and you have lost Cece. And I don't care what people say about Cece not having a storyline. Malaysia, the only reason you're still on this show is because you was doing, like, last season, this season, you had a little bit of storyline with that whole Jennifer thing, but really that was between Evelyn and Jennifer. You were just like, you just made yourself a storyline because she was trying to use you, but that wasn't a big deal because Jen didn't care about making up with you. And then this season, this is your biggest storyline besides, I don't know what else. Like, what would be your storyline without Cece? Kristen, you need Cece on this show too because you don't have a storyline, so I guess you're just gonna be the bone carrier. That's gonna be your storyline on these shows. Like, they're killing me. Like, y'all don't be needing to get rid of some of these girls because your show can't make it without them. There's a reason Jackie's been on all these seasons, because as crazy as she might be, as much as she gets on some people's nerves and they love to hate her, she does bring that drama that y'all need on this show, because that's one of the reasons your ratings are slipping, because Jackie has been uh relaxed and calm and been working on herself, and then you brought over the girls who were on the other show and they couldn't keep their own show going, truth be told, and so they jumped on y'all's show and just took over you all's show. Ooh, I can't remember what I was talking about. It just this show just annoys me. Like when you get the Shawnees and Evelyns and Jennifers and all them, and they act like they're above it all. I'm like, you had to get on this show. Like your own show that you had going fell apart, and this show is still going. And then y'all go and kick all the other girls out of off this show so that you could have a spot on the show, so that you could still have spots and stuff. Like, please, y'all need to stop it. Just stop it. So anyways, let me find my notes again because I went off on a tangent. So she starts telling him about like all of that, about like Jackie started. I'm like, you started that because you didn't need to bring it up. But I already told y'all that. But she didn't. She did not have to bring that up at her party. And that's why I feel like y'all are doing this on purpose to get Jackie off the show. And so then he tells her, oh, that's so high school, that's so childish. And she said, I thank my husband because it makes sense and tells me to stay out of the drama. I'm like, he needs to tell you that you are the drama. Like if you told him the whole story and if he watches the show, he should know that you caused the drama. But then she asked him about his relationship with Byron. And because he went and had a conversation, he said it did start off rocky, but they're in a better place. And then she tells him that she feels like she needs to speak to Byron and apologize because she never meant for him to, because she didn't want people to think he was a bad granddad, and she didn't mean that for that to get out there or whatever. But you did put that out there all last season. You put that out there. And you act like, oh, I've been trying to hold this, but he never sees her. I remember those episodes last season where you were acting like because of Cece, he was not seeing his children. Him and Cece were putting on this front like they were good parents or good grandparents and stuff, and they were not. You put that out there. And she was like, I didn't mean for it to come out that way or whatever. So she wants to apologize to Byron. So then we get with Jackie. She meets up with Cece and OG, and they discuss what happened at the event. And Cece is just glad she wasn't there. And then Jackie says that her auntie hit her in the head. And I was like, I didn't see that, Jackie. But sometimes y'all be editing out. But hey, Jackie, I didn't see that. Now, if that didn't happen, don't be saying that happened. It did happen. But usually if it happens, well, I don't know, because maybe they didn't want it. But usually if it happens, VH1 will cut it and they'll show you, when that happened. But I don't know. So, I don't know, Jackie. So then, Jackie says that she wants to do a court, and she's taking it seriously, and she asks OG to do it, and OG says she'll do it and everything. So then we see, then we go to, okay, so Jennifer, Dominique, Evelyn, and Malaysia meet up. Notice how Malaysia didn't want nothing to do with Jennifer, and now she's like, well, I don't really mind being in Jennifer's presence because I just got to get to the bottom of this and everything. So now they're all meeting up at the spa. And Malaysia's like, Jennifer says, I didn't say that. And Malaysia's like, I'm looking in your eyes and I believe you. And I'm like, girl, please. Like, we have seen Jennifer lie. Like, we've seen her tell the truth, turn around and lie, which she's going to do later on in the season with Evelyn, which is why Evelyn supposedly does not like her right now or whatever. Because, I think somebody was saying something she did, like, because, Tammy dropped that diss on Jennifer last week, which wasn't that bad. And I liked Tammy's song, Tatiana Trill's song, No Pressure. I actually like it. Like, I'm not gonna, it was nice. I didn't know what to expect. So when I got that, I was like, okay. But anyways, so they all go to this spa, and I'm like, Malaysia, I thought you really didn't, but she said she's doing this to get to the bottom of it. So to me, it feels like and she says, I already know how I feel about Jackie. So then why do you need to speak to Jennifer? I don't know. So then we see where Jackie, so then we see where they say that Anthony did it. Now, I don't know if Malaysia knows that Evelyn was one of the people on the phone call earlier with Anthony. Anyways, But I didn't like the fact that they said, let's call Anthony, and they were like, look how extra he's gonna be or whatever. And so they call him, and he's like, hello, whatever. He said, and then they're rolling their eyes and and all that. I didn't like that. And then he tells Malaysia something like, you're my he says something like a term of endearment he throws at her, or whatever, and she's like, I'm not that for you, or in her confession. I didn't know. I was like, why are y'all being shady when you're just trying to get answers from him? And if you think he's extra and you think he's lying and he's not telling the truth, then why would you call him? What are y'all doing? Like, why are you putting him in on the show and everything? To me, it was just it wasn't a good look for them. I know they were trying to make it look bad on him, but to me, it wasn't. It was just wasn't a good look for them, because it shows how petty you are and how mean girls that you are. Um, to me, that's how it came across. And then Jennifer was like, Jackie needs to be very careful because she knows I keep lawyers or whatever. I guess she would sue Jackie for defamation or something like that. I don't know. Y'all, I'm just sick of, like, you're too old for this. Like, all of you. And they always talk about age and everything. But they only talk about age when it pertains to people they do not like. When they like someone, they never bring up their age. They never say they're too old. They never say anything about age. But if they don't like them, that's when they bring it up. So then, Anthony just says that Ashley is the one who told him. He says Ashley told him, and she got the information from Dominique. From what he was saying, what he said was Ashley told him, and she's friends with Jennifer. And he said, and then Dominique has been spreading it around on the streets or whatever. And so then they were like, who is this Ashley? So then, because they didn't even tell, they just said it was Malaysia and Evelyn on the line. That's all Malaysia said. She didn't tell him Jennifer and Dominique were there as well. And he said that, and then Jennifer and Dominique started going at him, and he was like, wait, hold up. First of all, lower your voice when you're talking to me, because they're going at him, and they've raised their voice and everything. He was like, lower your voice when you're talking to me. He was like, I don't have a reason to lie on you. I'm telling you what was said or whatever. And so then they start getting all upset and tell him good night and all that. I'm like, why y'all getting him off the phone? And did y'all edit this? Because I don't feel like y'all asked the right questions. Like, who is Ashley? How does she know Jennifer? Can we get Ashley's number? Can we speak to Can you put her on three-way? Like, three-way. I don't feel like, can you conference her in? I don't feel like y'all asked the right questions to try to really get to the bottom of this. I think you want to just prove that, oh, Jackie is lying. He's just a fan. And that's it. I mean, I want to know more. So then we go to Jackie and OG meeting up, and they're getting ready for court, and they're renting stuff and everything. And OG's kind of playing around, and Jackie was like, no, I'm serious about this. Like, I really do, like, want to get to the bottom of this. And Jackie says Malaysia cannot get her time because the way Malaysia came at her. And I feel like Jackie's friend should tell her, because I love me some Jackie, but I feel like she's not understanding why Malaysia is upset. And I feel like Malaysia is not understanding why Jackie was going to the group. Because I don't believe Jackie did it to be malicious. I think she went to the group because she was trying to tell them, this is what's been going on. Jennifer is still lying. Jennifer is still doing this. And I heard this. And she wanted their support when she went to Malaysia with it or whatever. And I feel like Jackie doesn't understand that she should have told Malaysia. She could have explained that to Malaysia. I did go to the ladies in the group, and I was wrong for that. I should have came right to you. And Jackie's not getting that. So anyways, Jackie just tells OG, this is serious, sis. Stop playing around. I'm like, I'm serious about this or whatever. So they start taking it serious, and then that's it. So Evelyn is doing a photo shoot, and Phoebe shows up, and she's doing it for some of her creams. And then Phoebe says that she almost got into it with Jackie, and Evelyn was like, yeah, I saw that. And she said that when she almost got into it with Jackie, that would be wrong because that would be like fighting a senior citizen. And everyone was like, yeah. And listen, Evelyn is a beautiful woman. But in that scene, she looked every bit of her age and older. And for her to be sitting there with Phoebe jokingly around, like, I'm like, you're talking about Jackie's age. You're not that far behind. And you're looking every bit of your age and then a little bit more. I don't know if it was the lighting. I don't know what it was, but she was looking older in that scene. And there are certain shots where Evelyn does look older. Like she doesn't look as young anymore. And so I'm like, I don't understand. Like y'all, we all gonna get like we're all going to get old. So why we're all going to be 49 and 50 and why are y'all like? I don't understand the whole I'm gonna take shots at you by age. Well, we're all gonna age unless something happens to us and we die. Like honestly, we're all gonna age. Like I don't understand that part of it. I never have got that part of it where people try to take a shot when it's a shot at someone's age because your mother's that age, your sisters and you have uncles and cousins that age, and some of y'all got sisters and brothers that age. So I don't get it. Like, anyways, that's it. I don't even care about Phoebe's. Why do I always call this girl Fifi? That's how much I don't care about Phoebe. Like, don't bring her back. Do not bring her back next season. So then she tells Gigi that, she tells Phoebe that she's going to meet with Gigi, who is Chad's oldest daughter, who was there when the incident. She wasn't in the car, but she was in the house. Whoo, child. So then we see Cece and Byron. So Cece and Byron talking. He tells her he met with Thomas, and it was a little shaky at first, which is exactly what Thomas said. And he says, but he let him know, like, the stuff that Kristen has done to Cece, that is some of that, like, it's gonna take a while to forgive that, like the way she has come at Cece. And that is the problem that most people have always had, is that Kristen came on this show the first season. She really came on this show to down Cece, and you could clearly see that. And I think the only reason Cece is honestly doing this show this season is to try to clear her name, because it was mixed last year. There were some people on Cece's side, there were some people on Kristen's side. But now when you start looking at the comments, there are a lot of people on Cece's side over Kristen, because they're like, well, you just don't want, like, when more all this information has come out about their family, and and like him and not being with the mother, and how the children are upset about that, and they don't like Cece because of that reason. And us looking from the outside in, we're just like, well, it looks like y'all just don't like Cece because she's with your daddy. And it looks like, Kristen, you did all of that just to get back at Cece, because y'all are upset that he's not with Byron is not with their mother anymore. And so, and I think that's why Cece did this show again, and I think that's why she's getting off of it next season, because she's realized that I'm clearing my name this season. And you could tell because she's on the Twitter and everything talking about, like, I don't really follow, but I follow her every now and then because I want to know when I wanted to know what was going on with her and OG, because I do like Cece, and I used to follow her last year. Well, not follow, but I looked at her posts and stuff on Instagram. But I think that's why she came on, just to clear her name, so she could be like, listen, it's really Kristen. And now we're starting to see how it is Kristen. And it kills me when they're like, oh, Cece's a liar, but no one was saying Kristen was a liar, because I didn't believe that last year when she was saying Byron didn't see his grandchildren, because even if he didn't, I'm like, sis, those are your children. Like, take them to see him. Like, grandparents don't have to see their children all of the time. I never understood that, like, how some people want so much from their moms and dads when it comes to their children. It was like, they raised you. They're seeing their grandchildren is an option that they have, that it gives them enjoyment when they want it. It ain't based off when you want it. It's when they want to see them and have that relationship with their grandchild, not based off you. And anyways, so he just told her, like, he was just telling Cece how everything was going. So then she tells him about the whole thing with Jackie and how they're doing this court thing to try to straighten it out. And he was like, I like Jackie. He said, but Malaysia's blood and Malaysia doesn't lie. And what's killing me is no one is saying that Malaysia is lying. What we're saying is, why is she so quick to jump on Jackie and not Jennifer? Like, this has went from being about what it should have been about was like Jennifer's going around lying and just trying to figure that out, to now it's like get Jackie. Get Jackie. It's between Malaysia and Jackie. And I'm like, how did that happen? So then we see then so she tells him about they're having this court thing and it's gonna be a mess. She already knows it. And he tells her, you're not going. You're going to sit at the house with me, and we're going to have fun and enjoy each other's company. She said, I ain't. So she said, I can't go. And he was like, no. And she was like, I didn't want to go to that anyways. Because Cece is acting like Tammy this singing, and that's how you know she wasn't going to be on this show again. She's not coming to any of the events. She's not going on trips. She's not coming to events. And honestly, when you have things to do and you're busy with your career and all that kind of stuff, you don't have time to go on all these events. You don't have time to make all of these trips. You don't have time for all of the parties. You don't have time for all the silly lunches and sit downs that they want you to do. You don't have time for it. And like you can see that with Tammy and Cece. So Shawty didn't show up to the whole skate ring event or anything. No, she showed up late. She didn't show up to something last episode. She didn't show up. Anyways, but Shawty's the same way as far as events. Like, she sometimes won't make it. I think to the big things, usually she's the one planning the trip, so she'll go. But we'll talk about Shawty later. Okay. So then Jackie meets Jen for drinks, and she's just like, she was telling Jackie, I was upset with you. Jen was like, why are you upset with me? See, this is crazy, Jackie Christie. I hate when they do that. This is crazy, Jackie. She's supposed to be working on herself and all that, but I don't see it or whatever. And Jackie was like, Jennifer, did you say anything? She was like, no, I never said anything. She was like, Jennifer, it's all gonna come out. So if you said something, you better say it or whatever. And Jennifer's just like, no, she didn't say anything. And then she starts calling Anthony a clown and all that. And I do like the fact that Jackie was like, no, don't do that. Like, don't call him a clown. Don't do it, because he's not been disrespectful. And she's like, he's lying, so that is disrespectful. I honestly don't believe he's lying. I don't know. I think Jennifer said so. I don't understand how they're acting like this is so far-fetched for Jennifer to say something about Malaysia. I don't, and her children and her finances, I don't understand how they're acting like that's so far-fetched, and she would never do that. So then, anyways, that's the end of that lunch. They just leave it on. Jackie's like, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. So then Evelyn meets Gigi, and I don't know, I really like this scene. So she meets Gigi and she starts hugging on the Gigi or whatever, and she's like, don't. She tells Evelyn, don't you go make me start crying. Okay, listen, this is why I didn't like this scene. One, because it shows how selfish. Okay, so Evelyn says she told Gigi, I'll always be there for you, etc., etc. She says, then I met Carl. And then I didn't want to make Carl upset by still reaching out. Like, that is a child. Anytime you get in a relationship, if the person that you are with will be upset because you still have ties to a child, that's not the man for you. Like, I don't understand how, like, I didn't, no, like, if you were getting into relationship with him, you would explain the situation. I've gotten into relationships where I explained what was going on. I didn't have something like I was close to an ex's child, but I am close to 2 children in my life, and I'll tell them, hey, this is what it is with me and these children. And the ones that were like, okay, I don't really like kids or anything of that nature. Do you think I called them, talked to them, did anything else with them? No. But the ones that were like, oh, I love kids or whatever, that's so great or that's cool or whatever, those are the ones that, I continue to try to date or what. Like, that's so I was like, sis, that don't fly with me. Like, And then she says, then she throws Tammy in there about how Tammy spread that rumor, told that story last year. And I'm like, that ain't have nothing to do with this little girl. That had nothing to do with her unless she inserted herself into it. That had nothing to do with her. That was Tammy saying what happened in your relationship from what you told her that happened in the relationship. And Tammy don't be lying. Like, you could say a lot of stuff, but Tammy does not be lying. I don't know. For this to be the first time you saw this young lady, I thought it was like you exploited the scene. Like, I felt like, I don't even know why you added this in here. I didn't like this scene. Anyways, so then we go to OG and Jackie, and they get together, and Dion is there for the support. And Jackie's brought food in. She's made it real cute up in there. And so the ladies come in, and they're just like, this is so childish. Like, none of them even gave it a chance. And I feel like if Malaysia had came up with this idea, they would have all been saying how cute it was. But because it was Jackie, and they want to get Jackie out of the circle, I'm sorry, that's how I feel. It was just so lame, so childish. And Shawty was like, I don't, LG being the judge, she was the one that said she would kill somebody or whatever. And I'm like, Shawty, like, that's what I don't like about Shawty. When it's certain people she likes, she has nothing to say. Everything's a good idea. She's riding with it. It's cute and all that. But when it's certain people that she really doesn't care for, she always has a little side comment. Or she's so unbothered. And Shawty is a mean girl. She just covers it up by by doing it through the other girls. She stays out of it, but she'll laugh and kiki with them as well. That's why I don't like her much either. This video is long as crap because this episode was long. Okay, so then so they finally bring it all up, and Jackie calls herself as a witness, and they was like, who does that? I'm like, have y'all never seen court? Like, people do that. They bring who else is a better witness than you? Yes, you're your own witness. Oh my gosh. Malaysia won't get up there because she said she doesn't think she doesn't want to be a part of it or whatever, so she won't get up there. Anyway, so Jackie's trying to explain, and then Evelyn starts going at Jackie, talking about you should have went to your friend and everything. And so Dion starts getting into it with them, and then they all start, oh my gosh, you do this for these are women or whatever. And Shani tells him, you're a man, and he says, I'm genderless. And I'm like, yep, so that's why you can't be throwing around. Like, even if you see him, you can't throw it around. Like, you have to be careful nowadays about like what you put out there, because look, like, you just have to be careful about that or whatever, because he if you look at him, you'll be like, you're a man going against this, and then he's like, I'm genderless or whatever, and it's like, oh, okay, like, all she could say was, I didn't know. But anyways, so then it just goes into some mess, and then so they're all like, see, she always brings other people, Dion, in, and I'm like, y'all were not saying this. Remember when Jen got slapped by Evelyn's friend? Y'all all bring other people in. Like, you brought your cousins in. Y'all always bring other people in. But for right now, y'all don't like Jackie, so it's wrong. So then anyways, the bottom line is Malaysia is just like, you should have came to me as a friend and just told me. And that is what Jackie should have done. Like, I love me some Jackie, but she should have done that. So she was wrong for that. And then OG sentenced them to stay for 90 days or something like that, stay 100 feet away from each other. And that was it, y'all. Like, this episode was just a mess. I'm just disappointed because it's like, I feel like Malaysia and Jackie could have worked this out if they weren't trying to get Jackie off the show. Because I think they're trying to get her off the show, and that's why they're not going to work it out. Because they're trying to isolate her like they did Cece and all that. But y'all better be careful because, Shawnee, listen, y'all ratings going down anyways. And we don't want to see you, Evelyn, Jen, Malaysia, and Phoebe, Dominique. Like, we don't want to see y'all. We barely, like, people are barely watching with Tammy. She barely on the show. Cece barely on the show. OG, oh, I forgot about OG and Kristen. Like, we don't want to see y'all like that. So yeah, y'all better try to keep Jackie and keep some kind of, as y'all call it, crazy Jackie on the show, because nobody want to see it. We don't. All right, guys, that's enough. Have a great evening.